okay? There is no scarcity here. There's no production here. They're not printing these things on cartridges, which we're going to talk about that later, because that's crazy. There is a physical release coming. That's my mind is blown, okay? But let's talk about this. This is digital ones and zeros, okay? They can say, hey, if you're part of a subscription service, great news, stay subscribed, because Fire Red and Elite Green are coming, right? Amazing. And for those of you that aren't subscribed, great news, you can buy them for $20, and then you don't have to commit to a subscription. Like, there is literally no downside to them doing that. These are not mutually exclusive things. It's a digital product. You can do both. You can appease everybody. And by the way, if they put it on the subscription service, they still make money from new people subscribing to Nintendo Switch Online. Okay, so like that whole thing is crazy, right? But we all know that them charging $20 for this is purely because they know that everyone who's already subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online is not going to cancel it over this, but they will probably buy this, right? Like these games are that they're probably more popular than the entire Game Boy Advance catalog, so they can get away with charging money here. Now, look, I'm very honest with you guys.
You can like the video. We've got your whole home covered, so you can get back to what you love, messes and all.
This price point, okay? Because the argument that people have been making online defending this price point is that Pokemon Fire Red right now is actually $140 on eBay, which I'm hoping this price drops now that this is coming to the Switch Online. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it coming to the Switch is going to make it even more popular. But the argument here is like, okay, if you want to play Fire Red on official hardware right now, you have to spend $140. $20 is a steal, right? And it's like, look, this is not apples to apples. I mean, what are we talking about? One of them is a physical cartridge that is no longer in production, so it is literally something people can collect. Whereas this is a license agreement that can be taken away from you at any time, which is not hypothetical. It has already happened. That is not coming down the pipeline. That is the reality we live in. For example, take a look at The Crew, okay? Try to go play The Crew right now and tell me more about how digital ownership exists. It doesn't. So they're not apples to apples. But look, to the average consumer, they are. To the average consumer, it's just $20 to play Fire Red versus $140 to play Fire Red on a piece of hardware. Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing. Nintendo themselves already charged for digital downloads of Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U. And back then, they charged between $7 and $8 for Game Boy Advance games. Okay, so Nintendo themselves, they set the expectation that Game Boy Advance games are in this price range. And if you look at this and say, okay, well, if you remember on the 3DS, they released Red, Blue, and Yellow for $10. So, like, that's already higher than this. So it's like, okay, fine, charge $10 for it, right? But no, they went with 20. And even in 2014, people were complaining about the price of Game Boy Advance games because they thought that $7 or $8 was too expensive for Game Boy Advance games, right? Like, people either agreed that it was too expensive, or they said, yeah, $7 or $8 is that's about fair, okay? So, alright, so we've decided that $7 or $8 is fair for Game Boy Advance games, and we've decided that $10 is fair for Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, so, okay, let's just add those together and add $2 on top of it, I guess? Is that how they arrived at this price? I don't know, but here's the thing, it's gonna sell like crazy. I know that everyone knows it, and like, let me just be abundantly clear here, okay? If you want to play this on your Switch or Switch 2, I'm not telling you to boycott it, buy it. If you want to, like, that's the thing about these videos, right? People think I'm trying to tell them what to do. Like, sure, vote for your wallet if you feel passionate about something, 100%, right? But life is too short, and we're talking about video games, so it's not that big of a deal. If you want to buy this, buy it, play it, have fun with it, okay? I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but I do think it is justified to at least criticize or question the business practice here, because we're not actually getting anything better.
Fucking die, dude!
Again, there is a physical price to this building, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but here's what's even more crazy about this, okay? This is the English version, and you might think, okay, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, let's scroll down to the bottom here, and we'll figure out why. This is the English version of the game because this version replicates the way the game was originally released. Each language version is separate, and there are no in-game